On the issue of Myanmar, it held its first elections in some 20 years. It described them as being democratic and fair, but was this a sham?
The first election in 20 years, that has itself a meaning, but that should be much, much more than that. First of all, the election was not sufficiently participatory, not inclusive. Though Aung San Suu Kyi was still under house arrest, I sincerely hope that and urge again that she and all other political prisoners will be released soon. Now, what is more important at this time is how inclusive, how much participatory government they will form toward the transition to civilian government. That I'm watching very closely, and I'm going to urge that they should heed the calls of international community.
You visited Myanmar before the elections and lobbied for the release of Aung San Suu Kyi. She is due to be released this weekend. That is when her house detention term expires. Do you think she will be released? And if she's not, what will the United Nations do?
Several such deadlines have passed as we know already. I know that the deadline is coming this Friday. I urge that this time, without fail, she should be released, and including with other political prisoners. This is the good way for due leadership to start this inclusive and participatory transition toward the civilian rule. And I'm going to discuss this matter with all international community leaders.
And if she's not released, what will you do?
I'll continue to urge.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the issue of China, you were in Beijing earlier this month meeting with President Hu Jintao. Many thought that this would be the perfect opportunity to raise the issue of human rights and that of Nobel Peace Prize winner Liu Xiaobo, who is in prison on charges of subversion. Why didn't you raise the issue as the President, and why didn't you push for Liu Xiaobo's release?
Partnership and engagement between China and the United Nations is multifaceted. We have many development issues, human rights issues, and also peace and security issues. All these should be addressed in a very comprehensive manner. The human rights is one of the 3 pillars of the United Nations Charter. I have been doing all the times during the last 4 years to shine light of human rights on all the corners of the world, even in the darkest area. That's what I have been doing. Now, I have discussed this matter publicly and privately with the Chinese leadership. The record is very clear.
But, sir, do you think he should be released?
I hope that the Chinese government has heard all the calls from the international community.
The G20 is supposed to focus on developing nations, but in the current climate, the currency and trade imbalances will dominate talks. Is that disappointing?
I'm a bit concerned that still there are some divergences of opinions among G20 leaders. This is the moment for the unity, coordination among G20 leaders to look at the challenges of many developing and poor people, vulnerable people. I welcome all this financial consolidation and taking national economic stimulus packages. This is absolutely necessary. When big powers' world economy is strong, they can benefit and they can give more aid to developing countries. But at the same time, please never lose sight of the challenges and concerns of many poor people.
Now, the Millennium Development Goals, which are aimed at reducing world poverty and hunger by 2015, has become a pet project of yours. Can you realistically meet that deadline?
There is some skepticism whether we could be able to achieve these Millennium Goals by 2015. It's very realistic questions. But I believe that with the strong political will, leadership, and also good policies targeting right people, right area, right sector, and with adequate financial resources, I'm sure that this can be achieved by 2015. And this is a strong message of hope. We need to send out a message of hope.